All right, everyone. Michael Quinn Sullivan here at the Texas Scorecard booth at the Republican Convention. Real excited to get to sit down with Abraham George, just elected as the chairman of the Republican Party of Texas for the next 2 years. First, congratulations on your election. And give folks a sense of what you hope to be able to accomplish as the chairman of the Republican Party of Texas for, again, the next 2 years.
Well, thank you for having me here. It's been a hard-fought fight throughout yesterday, but I think at this point, everyone's mind is on November. Let's get Donald Trump elected. Let's get Ted Cruz elected. That's going to be number one priority for us. We're going to put a data team together. We got to work on all of our stuff. That will be wonderful. For all of our counties, precinct chairs, got to get them motivated to show up, and I think they are with all the Bidenomics going on. So, but the major thing is right after we elect them, the Texas legislative session is going to start. We're hoping that our legislators are going to start to listen to us a little bit more because we have more conservatives on the ballot this time, and they're all going to win, and it will be a wonderful time for us to actually advance some conservative legislation.
One thing that I think a lot of folks have been frustrated by has been that we're now at 23 years of Republicans dominating Texas, every statewide office, both chambers of the legislature, and yet a lot of the activists who we see walking around here kind of, they get a little discouraged because many of the priorities that have been priorities of conservatives, priorities of the Republican Party for year after year after year have gone undone. What encouragement can you give them that 2025 could be a year when that might begin to change?
Well, I want to say something yesterday. I was looking at our floor, a general session, around 11:30 at night. There's thousands of people still sitting there working on our platform, and these are the people who don't have any title. They don't get any fame. They don't get any money. They're spending money to be there. They truly believe in this. Otherwise, why would they do this? And when we take this platform to our legislators, they don't treat it like it's been built by the grassroots. I think we gotta change that, and I believe what's going to happen this session is either they play ball with our Republican Party, or we're going to have to find someone to run against them. It's very simple at this point.
Excellent. Okay, so as you look at when we go from here, the several thousand folks who are delegates and alternates at the Republican convention, that's a tiny drop in the bucket when it comes to the number of people who vote in our elections. What practically can, the very nice lady sitting here in the front row, the fellows walking around the convention hall, what are practical things you think they can do to help advance the cause of liberty with their neighbors, with their friends, folks they go to church with?
Right. So one of the things that I think, and that has a lot to do with how the Republican Party messages this. The way I believe what we should do is, now we have the platform, we will have it today, and the priorities as soon as the convention is over. We should send out that as the primary message to every Republican in the state of Texas and say, now every precinct chair, every activist have a copy of this, and they can take it to their neighbor and say, hey, look, the Republican Party for next 2 years, this is what we're working on. And get involved, and I'm sure they will find something that they love to do in that platform that is most important to them. And all we need is someone who is willing to fight for one of those items and one of those planks. And if we can get that person activated, the legislative session will be different. And I think we need to get them involved, and that's the only way to do it.
The perennial problem of every political party, and particularly the Republican Party, has been on fundraising. How do you hope to address fundraising? They've got cash in the bank right now, but that changes month to month.
Right. So I think the easy access to the fundraising is going to the establishment. I don't intend to do that. I'm not going to do that because if I sell the party, then there's no point in having the Republican Party. So the only way to keep this going the right direction is to go back to the grassroots and say, we need $10 from you because this belongs to the people and you're the owner. I'm just here as a fiduciary for 2 years. And I need you to help out. And so I think we will make it happen. I did that as a Collin County chair. We didn't raise a lot of money from the elected officials. When we did, it was very specific for one of their events and things like that. We didn't ask them for any operating expenses. And I'm not planning to do that with the Republican Party of Texas either.
Outstanding. Your vice chair, Dorinda Randall, elected last night. What do you hope the two of you as a team and the SREC, what's the one message that you hope gets sent to voters, not just Republican voters, around the state?
Well, I gotta say it. Dorinda is a lot nicer than I am, and a lot prettier.
That is
than
actually
I am.
true.
Yes.
On both counts.
Yes. So she's got a whole set of expertise that I don't have, and I think we have a great relationship where I can go and fundraise, where I can go and work on legislative priorities to hold Republican elected officials. Where the grassroots, a lot of grassroots efforts will be run by her. That she is great at that. She built a club, a Republican club, from 50 people to 500 in 1.5 years in Collin County, and which is not easy to do because there's about 30 different Republican clubs there. So she's really good at organizational stuff. So she's excited to do that, and I think there's a symbiotic relationship between us that where we can actually push our priorities with a great group of SREC members. So this is going to be an exciting couple of years for us. Yeah.
So I want to go back to a little bit of unpleasantness for a moment. It was a rough campaign.
Oh yeah.
A rough campaign.
Oh yeah.
What appreciation does the vitriol and the very personal attacks levied against you anonymously by folks? What does that change the way you hope we as Republicans campaign, interact with each other, talk to each other?
Well, I think the campaigns are going to be ugly. It's just a matter of that's how things are these days, unfortunately. I was not expecting my family to be dragged into it, but at the end of the day, it actually worked out great for me because honestly, they were not planning to be at the convention. But when this attack started, my wife said, I'm going to be at the convention. And I said, is that a good idea? Because, I'm also running. I don't want you to be upset with everyone there. So she said, no, I'm not going to let them control the narrative. We're going to be there as a family. So my kids showed up. It was wonderful. So moving forward, I reached out to all of my everyone who ran for the position, texted them saying, "Hey, thank you for your help during the campaign." And I don't know who did what, honestly, because none of them had any disclaimers, none of the stuff. So I honestly didn't care at this point. I'm like, a new day, and we're gonna move on, and we're gonna move to getting Republicans elected in November. So that's the whole goal at this point.
Outstanding. Well, Abraham George, thank you for sitting down with us, and thank you for being willing to serve the Republican Party.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Appreciate
you guys.
Thank you.